I was just walking up this trail, just a little narrow path, obviously used by deer, bear, things like that. And I just looked down and I saw this here. Oh, see it better like this maybe? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. Just the front part of a foot impression. I mean, I have a hard... It could have been a bear. They should be hibernating this time of year, but it is seasonably warm. Might be a squatch track, really hard to say. It's old, it's melted out. There's nothing here that would indicate a heel or anything. Could just be just melted spot in the snow too, but it does appear to have 5 possible toe impressions. But it's so melted out, it's so old, you really can't say one way or the other what it was. I'm back down the part of the mountain where I found my potential toe track. And I'm going to do a little experiment, which is going to involve making my toes kind of cold. So there's just regular footprint. Let's try a running print. Okay, now this track here that I found is very melted out. It was obviously made with much deeper snow, and the snow was probably crusty because there's ice in it. But it's really hard to say without actually seeing the fresh track. Now when I just stepped next to it, I'm surprised there's really very little heel imprint. And my track is about the same size. I've got size 13 shoes. So, if this was a squatch, it was a juvenile, something, or an adolescent, something that was not 8 or 9 feet, much shorter, and probably weighed much less. Look at the running track. It's deeper, but it's warmer out. You can push down into the snow a lot easier because, past 3 days it's been 40 degrees. Before that, it's been 10 or 15 degrees, it's been cold. So your tracks would not sink in as much with the harder, icier snow. But this track actually is very similar as far as the amount of foot showing. My foot had arched up and only really part of my foot went in. It appears to be the same situation here. So those are two comparisons of my track compared to this track. And looking at it, I can only really come up with a few possibilities. One possibility would be that it's a bear. However, they should be hibernating this time of year. I've never heard of a bear out this time of year, even when it's warm. And it has been cold. We're just in a warm spell right now. Another possibility would be a grouse. When grouse land or take off in the snow, their wings drag like that, which could potentially cause what I'm mistaking for toes. However, the drag marks are not long enough and they appear to be too broad, and there's no matching drag marks on the other side, so I'm ruling out a grouse. Another potential suspect would be melting snow on the trees falling off, and you'll see that a lot where there's just snow landed on the ground and will make an impression. However, there's very little above us, and I'm actually not seeing much of that anywhere else. These trees are very small and they're not holding really much of any snow on their branches because they're in such small diameter. Which leaves 2 other options. One, there's a barefoot person up here, and other than me, I really doubt that. Or it's a squatch. I'm not saying it's a squatch, but those are the possibilities that I've come up with. Those are my possible explanations.